Morning broke soft and silver over the valley. Mist curled like smoke from the water's edge, and the river clan gathered near the great bend of the river that had given them both life and name. The fire from the night before still smoldered behind them, tamed, controlled, glowing gently within a ring of stones. Toru watched the river flow, deep and wide, carrying broken branches and fallen leaves away toward the far horizon. To him, the river was a living thing, patient, eternal. Its voice never stopped speaking, though no one yet understood the words. Lina stood beside him, feet in the cold shallows. She scooped up water with both hands and let it spill through her fingers. The sun caught the droplets and scattered them into light. She laughed softly, a sound like wind through reeds. For the first time in many moons, laughter felt safe. Behind them, the rest of the clan moved with slow purpose. The elders gathered stones to rebuild the hearth. Women prepared skins for drying. Hunters carved new spear tips from bone. There was rhythm now, a pattern to their living. It was Toru, the scarred leader, who had spoken first after the burning of the cave. He had lifted his hand toward the sky and struck his chest, then pointed to Toru and the fire. The gesture meant, the flame is strong, but it must serve the tribe. From that day, things began to change. They built shelters near the river, weaving branches and hides into shapes that caught the wind but did not break. They stored meat inside pits lined with leaves and stones. They learned to smoke fish above the fire so that it would last through the cold moons. Every task had meaning now. Each person had a role. The old woman Nira, with hair white as frost, gathered herbs and leaves, grinding them with stones to heal wounds and fevers. The children carried water, learning to mimic their elders' gestures. The strongest hunters went beyond the forest each morning, bringing back not only food, but stories of beasts, of storms, of the world's far edges. And always, when the sun fell, they came back to the fire. The fire had become their heart. It glowed in the center of the camp, steady and alive. Its light marked the boundary between night and safety, between chaos and home. One evening, when the air was thick with the scent of roasting fish and pine smoke, Toru gathered the clan around the fire. He stood tall, his shadow long against the stone. In his hand, he held a staff topped with a curved tusk, part of the mammoth they had slain. He struck the staff upon the ground once, twice, 3 times. The sound echoed through the valley. The clan fell silent. He pointed to the river, then to the fire, then to the sky. His eyes were fierce, his gestures strong. His meaning was clear: these are the 3 powers, the water, the flame, the sun. Together they keep us alive. He drew a circle in the dirt around fire, river, and sky. Then he placed his hand to his chest. We are part of the circle. The people murmured in agreement. Their voices blended like the wind in the reeds. Lina reached for Toru's hand. He looked at her, and in her eyes he saw reflection, the firelight, the river's glimmer, the starlight above. He understood then that their tribe was more than flesh and hunger. It was memory. Connection. Something was forming that had never been before, a people. Later that night, when most had gone to rest, Toru sat by the fire carving into wood. Lines, circles, and shapes emerged beneath his fingers, the river's curve, the sun's rays, the spiral of smoke. He didn't know why he carved them. It simply felt right, as if his hands remembered something his mind did not. Lina approached quietly and sat beside him. The fire's glow painted her face in copper and gold. She pointed to one of his carvings, a circle surrounded by small lines. Ah, she asked, the sound that meant fire. Toru shook his head. He pointed to the sky. Saa. It was a sound he made without thinking, shaped by the breath of awe. Lina repeated it. Saa. They both looked upward, toward the stars. For the first time, the heavens had a name. As the moons passed, the clan's life began to follow a rhythm. The rhythm of survival turned into the rhythm of culture. When someone died, they laid the body near the river and covered it with stones. They lit small fires beside it and whispered soft breaths into the air. They believed the river carried the spirit onward, to join the sky in the flame. When a child was born, they dipped its feet into the river's edge and touched its brow with ash, binding it to both water and fire. The River Clan had no words for soul or afterlife, but they had meaning. And meaning was the seed of everything. One night, a strange sound filled the air, the deep growl of thunder far beyond the mountains. A storm was coming. Toru rose and lifted his staff. The clan watched as he turned to Toru and pointed to the fire. Then, to the sky. His meaning, protect the flame. Toru nodded. He and Lina built a small shelter of stones around the fire as the wind began to howl. Rain lashed the earth. Lightning split the sky into veins of white. The clan huddled together, eyes wide with fear. And then, something happened. A single bolt of lightning struck a tree nearby. It burst into flame, crackling in the rain. The clan cried out, terrified. But Toru stood, staring at it, the raw power of the heavens itself. He turned to the others, raised his arms, and mimicked the gesture of the strike. Then he pointed to the fire they had kept safe under stone. His meaning was clear, the sky and our fire are the same. Slowly, understanding spread among them. The fear faded. The storm raged on, but now they saw it not as a curse, but as a sign. When the rain finally stopped, they emerged to find their fire still alive, glowing weakly but unbroken. The clan cheered, their cries echoing through the mist. Toru smiled at Lina. The fire had survived. So had they. At dawn, the river shimmered in soft light, and smoke curled gently from the hearth. The River Clan gathered once more in a circle, just as Toru had taught. They pressed their palms to the earth, then to their hearts, and finally raised them to the sky. It was not yet prayer. But it was the beginning of one. The first ritual of humanity. Born beside the river, beneath the sun, in the glow of the everlasting flame.